Hello guys, today I will be teaching you about functions and graphs. Now before we get to solving, I'm going to give you a short description on what functions are and what are graphs for. Now functions, well, it's a rule that takes on an input like let's say x. Oh, well, it's not working. Let's say x, ganyan. I'm not sure why it's not working. And gives exactly one output like parang f of x. Um, well, uh, X at saka yung f of x, well, pwede mo naman gamitin any letter sa alphabet. That's still gonna equate to a function. Like, let's say, h of v, ganyan. Or g of f, ganyan. Oh, well, no, not f, but let's say a, ganyan. That's still gonna, that's still gonna mean like parang equation and a function. Now, let's talk about graphs. Well, what are graphs exactly? Well, graphs are it's just a parang visualization on how the function behaves, and that's that. Now let's get to the solving part. Let me just get my trusty eraser dito. Just going trapo, basically. And yeah, let's start solving. Now, my example here, let's say function of x, where x is the variable. Sorry about that. The variable. Now, let's say x. I'm not sure why it's not working, but that says x squared minus 4 over x minus 2. Now, how do you solve that exactly? Well, first, kailangan natin equate, since that's a fraction, kailangan natin i-equate, hanapin yung value ng x where it equates to 0. So, parang matandaan natin. Now, if I was to equate x is equals to 2, ganyan, that's going to result in 2 squared minus 4 over 2 minus 2. Now, if you notice, if you do like parang simple na algebra, that is gonna result to 0 over 0, which is undefined. So since that x is equals to 2, equates to 0 over 0, kailangan natin tandaan na x is not equals to 2. Ganyan. So, kailangan natin tandaan yung x is not equal to 2. Now, how do we go on about actually solving yung equation? Well, first, kailangan natin simplify. So, if you know this, yung x squared minus 4 is actually a difference of perfect squares. So, that's going to result sa x plus 2 x minus 2 over x minus 2. Now, if you know this, yung equation natin, yung x minus 2 from the denominator at saka yung numerator, you can actually cancel that out, which leads to our function being simplified to f of x is equals to x plus 2 if x is not equals to 2. So, ito ang natin, simplified version ng equation natin. Now, let's graph it out. I'm just gonna make like parang small na graph dito here so you can see what I'm talking about. Now, even though I say na x is not equals to 2, we're still gonna input it, pero yung point na makukuha mo, you're gonna like put it as an open circle. input natin yung function na x is equals to 2 sa x plus 2. So, y. So, let's just, para further understand mo, y is equals to, since we're going to substitute that, it's going to 2 plus 2, and then y is equals to 4, and then x is equals to 2. Ganyan. So, that's going to point to 4. So, that's 2, and then 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. Now, hanapin natin yung point at the 2 sa 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then this is the point. And then you're gonna use open circle because not exactly siya nag-equal to 2. Pero it's like at that parang point na we're nearing 2 pero not exactly 2. Like it could be like 1.99999 and so on. Or maybe like 2.1 2.000001, but not 2 exactly. So we're gonna put 2 dyan. Now, if you notice, yung equation natin, f of x is equal to x plus 2, or ganito, para mas madali maintindihan, x plus 2. Now, that's, if you notice, that's actually a linear equation in the form of y equals mx plus b. So, where b is yung y-intercept. And then, since wala tayong dito, wala tayong number dito, just, automatically 1 na yan, where it's our slope as sa m. After this, it's gonna be pretty simple since meron na tayong equation where yung 2 is the y-intercept. So you're just gonna put a point here, dyan. And then anything after that, I'm not sure why it's not working. Hello? But we're gonna put a point there. And then, kailangan mo lang i-connect. Because there's not really much else to do here. And since di tayo binigyan ng limit on what variables we can use, this goes, kailangan mo lang i-connect dito to a straight line. This goes all the way to negative infinity to positive infinity kasi di tayo binigyan ng limit on what our variable could be. And then that's pretty much it. Well, now we can move on to getting its domain and its range. Now, before we start, I'm gonna assume na wala kang idea sa domain at saka range. So, to give a brief explanation on anong domain, domain is basically lahat ng possible value ng x dito sa graph or any graph, while range is lahat ng possible value naman ng y. So, let's start getting there domain and range. Since meron na tayong graph. Now, let's look at kunin muna natin ang domain. So, domain, which is value ng all possible values ng x. Now, let's start here. As you can see, yung line natin, from approaching this point, let's start dito sa negative infinity. Kasi yung x natin, value natin, let's start from the left-hand side, go to the right-hand side. So, from the left-hand side, mag-start tayo sa negative infinity, which is number. We're gonna put a open close parentheses or open parentheses since we don't exactly know what yung that's not an exact number, just a pretty big number. Now, Let's negative infinity here. Now, as you can see, parang yung line, parang may, like, a, like parang may open hole dito. Where it's like sa value ng 2. Now, well, since it's not, it's not exactly 2, we're still gonna put 2 here. Pero it's a parentheses, not a bracket. Kasi it's not exactly 2, pero approaching 2. Now since yung line, mag-continue siya from, dito, we're gonna put union, open parentheses na naman, because we're, it's 2, pero not exactly 2. You get me? You get me? Yeah, sure. So, we're gonna put 2 here, and then yung line, yung value ng x, mag-continue siya all the way up to infinity, positive infinity. So, positive, what the fuck? Sorry, I'm not cursing. And then, yeah, that's gonna be our domain. And then as for range, maybe I need a bottom pad. So same way as natin, domain, we're gonna start from the left hand side, which is yung negative infinity. So since that's yung y value natin, it could be anywhere between yung 2 all the way from negative infinity, pero mag-start tayo sa negative infinity first. So that's gonna be negative infinity here. And then, as you can see, yung line mag-break siya at the point na y is equals to 4. Pero since that's an open circle, again, we're gonna do the same thing sa domain, which is 4 siya dito, pero parenthesis siya instead of bracket because it's 4 pero not exactly 4, just approaching 4. And then union, because the line still continues from 4 all the way up to infinity, positive infinity. Positive infinity. And then that's pretty much it. We graphed yung equation, and then we got the domain and range. And then that's pretty much it for me tonight because I just think pinaka. And then yeah, if my further question ka, I'll try to respond sa comment section or my constructive criticism ka about how I do my tutorials. Just point it out to me sa comment section, and I'll also be posting yung LaTeX I'll also be posting a link to my LaTeX ng lesson. So yeah, peace.